What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Space City Rottweilers podcast. I am your captain, your host, Mr. Corey. And I got my girl, JoJo, with me. What up, JoJo?
What's up, Corey? Mr. Corey.
Yeah, man.
How's it going? How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a long time. We should have left you with some Space City to rep to.
Yeah, it has been a minute. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, y'all. I do apologize
Right.
for not getting with y'all in a while, but man, it's been a lot going on in life, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we do apologize. It's been a while, but we back for another episode, man. Got my girl JoJo with me. What's up, JoJo?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still blessed.
For sure.
I still receive it, but I'm here. It's been a hell of a few weeks, I guess I can say, or a hell of a week, really.
Dang.
Yeah, but roll with the punches, keep it going. I'm here.
Well, it's been a hell of a week for you. 2020's been one hell of a year. But since the last time we talked, man, the whole month of October was just a hell of a month for me, man. Just was taking more losses, man. Since the last time we spoke, we had to put down the OG of the pack, Max.
No.
I think it was like 4 days before his 11th year birthday.
Damn.
Yeah, that was, that hurt my heart.
Yeah.
Just because, he'd been around for a minute. And that was really my first time ever having to do that. And, putting a dog to sleep, how they say, which is crazy because that's kind of what it really is when you put them down. You are putting them to sleep, like that process. And then we've just been losing a lot of life lately, man. There's been a lot of death going on, man. But I'm just like you said, I'm blessed by the best. But I'm just ready for more life. You know what I mean? Because we lost a couple of family members and things of that such, and it's just been some difficult times. But that just fits with the with this year that we've been having.
Yeah. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, Corey.
Oh man, it's all good.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh man, I appreciate it. But we back though, so we life goes on, how they say.
Yeah.
But that's not an excuse on why y'all ain't seen us in a while. But it was hard trying to manage and maneuver through all that going on. But we back, so have no fear. Space City's here.
Look at you. Yeah, man. Yeah, how's the new family member doing? How's your new dog doing?
And man, she's starting to wear off that word new. She didn't, she in there now, but she doing good, man. Everybody doing good. All the big dogs doing good, and the pup, she keeping up for the most part. Yeah. With her high energy self.
Ooh, good for her. I know she giving those other three a run for their money.
Keeping them young, they just like the old folks say, but they all still fairly young to a certain extent. But she, keeping that youth alive, and that the oldest ones on the yard, they stepping into that teenager years. You know how teenagers start smelling themselves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the youngster gonna bring it up out of them again.
That's good.
Yeah,
Bringing that life in there for them.
yeah.
That's good.
What's been new with you?
Well, really just, studying, what I'm working on.
Yeah,
But work is, this is really our season for
yeah.
work.
Holiday season.
So it's busy, 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 busy in there. To where I had to like stop and like just center myself for a moment because I felt like it was just too much going on. It was too much. I was like, you know what? And I just had to like pause for a few moments, take a few deep breaths because it was starting to become overwhelming. And I normally don't let like work doesn't get like that for me to where it is, overwhelming like that. But it did get to that point and I was like, whoa, this isn't let me step back a little bit. So I was able to get that second win and get back at it and here we are. It's gonna be like this for sure until the new year. So
Even with the COVID and stuff, it's been busy.
what? I feel like it's been busier because
Really?
we're doing everything by appointments.
Uh,
So we're scheduling everybody in and we're still limiting the amount of people that we have in the office, but it's back-to-back people. Like when I finally sit down to try to put in an order, I gotta get up and go get another order.
mm.
You know what I mean? So it's just been it's been crazy busy.
Y'all are y'all still screening people and things like that?
Oh yeah, we're still doing all of that.
Okay.
We're doing temperature checks. We're doing temperature checks. We're making people wash their hands when they get in the office, and we're taking our precautions, making sure everybody's wearing their mask, of course, making sure everybody's safe, cleaning up after every patient. So that's really just, I think the most taxing thing is just the extra cleaning that we have to do, which don't get me wrong, I don't mind. I actually prefer it, but it's just the extra task that it's just like, whew, it's a lot.
Has anybody got contracted the virus at your job?
No.
Yeah, y'all
No,
doing
thank God nobody has.
y'all doing what y'all supposed to be doing, and that's good.
Yeah, everybody's being safe. Yeah, thank God that we're all blessed, we're all safe, we're all good, we're all healthy, but this is allergy season too, so every now and then we get those sniffles and we're like,
Yeah, you get
no.
that.
Right, but no, we've been good. We've been really taking care of ourselves, so.
That's good. Well, I'm glad y'all staying safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so today I want to talk to the people, and today we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna say it in the third person. Should I? But I'm really talking about you, not you, JoJo, but you, the listener. Should I become a breeder?
Mm.
And I'm really just gonna be speaking from my opinion and the experience that I have, and try to I guess give some pointers on should you become a breeder. This is not to discourage anyone from doing anything that they want to do, but just something for you to think about. You know what I mean, before you go down your journey, or if you're already on that journey. And you might want to tighten up on your game, or do some self-reflecting, and get it right. But and of course, like I said, this is from my opinion. By no extent am I a expert. I mean, I'm still a puppy, I'm gonna say, in this. But with the few years that I do have, I do a lot of self-reflecting and I keep it real with myself. So I'm gonna keep it real with the folks and keep it real with the listeners. But should you become a dog breeder? If it's yes or no, that's for you to determine. But um, when I got in, when I made it up in my mind that I wanted to be a dog breeder, I didn't necessarily know what I know now. But you know what I mean. I knew it was gonna be some type of work, but I thought I was gonna be able to just get a male and get a female, and booyah, I'm a breeder. But with more education, or like how the people say, when you know better, you do better. But just getting one male and one female doesn't necessarily make you a breeder. Yeah, you can breed those two dogs and have puppies, but you know what I mean. You just making puppies to basically. In order to become a breeder, it take a whole lot more to go into it. But I think if you're asking yourself that question, certain things you would want to consider, and I'm gonna say timing is something that you really should think about and consider. And when I'm saying timing, I'm saying, is it the right time for you to jump into this? You know what I mean? Like the cliche saying, timing is everything.
Mm-hmm.
It in this situation, it really is, because when I first started, I thought it was the right time for me, but I kind of just jumped in. When I'm passionate about something, or when I really want to do something, I get excited, and it it stays on me until I get it, accomplished, or do whatever it is that's on my mind. But timing, you want to start, and this can go with anything that you're trying to build and develop. But for the sake of what we're talking about, you want it to fit your lifestyle and what you have going on in your life. If you All right, let's take COVID for instance. You just lost your job. This may be a good time for you to start your dog breeding, or start a kennel, or it could be the other way around. You lost your job, so you don't, you know what I mean. You don't have the resources or that time to put into starting your dog kennel. But you have to be real with yourself and know what you have going on in your life. From my opinion, if you have kids, you need to consider, if you have any other person that lives with you, or anyone else you might have to consider with consulting and letting them know what you got going on. And if you have anybody else involved in the situation, you definitely need to take that into consideration, because I'm gonna tell you now, trying to raise a newborn to 9 months and trying to run a kennel is hard. It's real hard. It's challenging. You know what I mean? My other kids are a little bit older, but I still gotta make time and spend time with them. You know what I mean? With the baby, it's constantly nonstop, all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to balance that with my other babies that can't necessarily take care of themselves. You know what I mean? That's a juggle match. Like, I lose. I don't want to say I lose sleep or anything, but I gotta wake up a whole lot earlier than some people may want. You know what I mean? Some people are not morning type people. I can get up sometimes.
What time are you waking up?
It varies between 5 and 6.
Just every morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say majority of the week. The weekends I may be able to sleep in a little bit longer. just because I gotta get them squared away and taken care of before baby girl wake up. Because
Mm.
once she's up, she at the age that she's at now, she moving all day, every day. I used to be able to sneak in, doing some stuff with the dogs when she went down for a nap. Ain't no more naps. She on 1,000 all day.
No way.
You know what I'm saying? So I
She's
gotta,
keeping you up, huh?
man, she is active, man.
Wow.
And but it's kind of cool at the same time because she's starting to be able to interact with the dogs a little bit. So I'm able to, like, put her in a high chair and put her on the patio or something if I really need to go do something outside with the dogs. But for the most part, getting them walked, exercise, stretch their legs, cleaning out their kennels, and feeding them and putting them all back before she wake up and before, you know what I mean, and before my fiance have to go to work. I gotta get up early, you know what I mean, because I gotta do all that, and before I know it, you know what I mean, it's time to go do my other job, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
balancing those two things, it can become a challenge, you know what I mean, and give or take, people can make the scenario fit with what I mean, their lifestyles. You may not have kids, you know what I mean, you might be in school, or you might actually have a day job.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't be responsible and do this stuff full-heartedly, you know what I mean, it may not be the right time for you to do that. So
I
you should,
mean, go ahead, my bad. Go
no,
ahead.
no.
Is there really like the perfect timing or like good timing for you to really get into breeding?
I'm gonna say yeah, but
Yeah.
that's for you to know, you to determine. Like, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say you can't treat it like a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
This has to be a full-time job. Whether however your schedule is, or however your lifestyle is, if you have a full-time job that you have to go to and actually have to punch a clock for, it might not be the perfect time for you to do to be a dog breeder, because it take a lot of time to be a breeder. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could be a perfect time. If you got a lot of downtime, or if you uh I don't want to say if you don't have a job, because I mean, we're gonna talk about the financing side of it too.
I mean, speak for yourself. When is the perfect time for you to start breeding?
To be a breeder,
Mm-hmm. Or even just to, get a new pack together.
I mean, I made the time fit for me. I mean, because when I got started, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Then I wouldn't say it was necessarily the best time, because I had other business ventures and other opportunities that I was, you know what I mean, going through. I mean, and because we're partners in the business with each other, but like, once I implemented the dog breeding business, that took away from my other business ventures that what I mean, that I had a part of, and experiencing with the business that we had going on. Like, I wasn't able to show up as much as I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had overwhelmed myself, but I'm blessed to be able to say that, like, all my business ventures, they're mine. So I was able to maneuver and focus on the different things at a time. I didn't have to punch a clock. I didn't have to answer to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was a good time for me. It's just me adjusting my lifestyle to me putting a new entrepreneurship in my life. You know what I mean? So that was the perfect time, because I made it up in my mind that I wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go ahead and start then and there. granted, like I wasn't equipped with everything that I needed. You know what I mean? But I made it fit for me, and some people can do that, but it might not be able to fit for other folks. But that's where planning come in. You know what I mean? Like, have a plan. You know what I mean? Like, let's just say starting right now. Let's just say when COVID hit or started,
February.
like February, March, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you wanted to start in February and March, but then COVID happened. You need to implement a plan to where, all right, this kind of like set me back a little bit, but let me sit down and say, all right, I'm gonna give it 6 months or whatever and get myself together, and then I'm gonna get started. That time in between time is giving you the opportunity to, you know what I mean, learn more about the breed that you're getting into, what type of equipment you're gonna need, what type of food you want to feed your dogs, uh, how many dogs you want. You know what I mean? I mean, what other kind of stuff go in a plan?
But wait, say that again.
I said, what other kind of things go in a plan, or like when you're planning something?
Making sure everything is in order. So like you said, if you preparing for, well, if anything, you have to get the actual breeding part down. And then once you know the dog is pregnant, you want to make sure you have everything that you need for the puppies,
Well,
right?
it's so many steps before you even get to that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to plan on. You need to have a plan. I mean, if you're gonna get start off with adult dogs, or are you gonna start off with puppies? You know what I mean? You need to have that made up in your mind, because if you're gonna start off with puppies, it's gonna take a while before you're able to start breeding. You know, some people breed way before they should. You know what I mean? But you know that's going now. So like if you're starting off with puppies, it's gonna take you about 2-3 years before you can actually start breeding those dogs and having puppies with them. I mean, of course, if you get adult dogs, you may be able to start right then and there. But like, you know what I mean? You're taking certain risks when you're getting adult dogs, or like, you know what I mean? It's still gonna have to be maybe like a learning curve or like an adjustment stage between you and that adult dog versus, I mean, that can kind of be the same with, you know, getting a newer puppy. Yeah, once you get adjusted with the adult dog, you may be able to start when that dog comes into their cycle, their heating cycle, and you know what I mean, then you might be able to start them in there versus having a puppy. You got to wait for it to mature, develop, see what you have, see if you like it. You know what I mean? And can this dog produce? Make sure that it's at perfect health. You know what I mean? But you know that's part of planning. Like where you want to start at what point. When do you want to start? Where do you want to start? How do you want to start? You know what I mean?
Well, what are some of the risks that you would say would come with breeding adult dogs? Like if
Uh,
you getting adult dogs.
some of the risk would be, what kind of life has this adult dog already lived?
Mm.
Uh, where is this? I mean, of course, you would know, or you should know, or look into where did this dog come from? Um, how many litters has this dog already have? Is this dog as healthy as the previous owner says it is? Can this dog even, you know what I mean, be bred? Is it a product of overbreeding? Is it a quality dog, basically? That, you know what I mean, that can always be risky. That's even with puppies. But you know, at least with puppies, you'll be able to kind of see it develop. You know what I mean? This adult dog, depending on the age, has already, you know what I mean, went through its growth and development stage. I mean, and you see what you get, but like you have some dogs who don't adjust well. You know what I mean? If you have a puppy, you have all that time to get acquainted with that dog or with that puppy. When an adult dog, how many owners does it have? You know what I mean? Risk. What was any of the previous owners abusive? You know what I mean? How old is the dog? You know what I mean? Is this dog even at the age to where it can still be bred? You know what I mean? Those are some risks.
So so it's safe to say that it's better to start with a puppy and then get them well acquainted and then get the breeding?
I mean, I would say it's still it's personal preference.
Yeah.
Some people might look at getting an adult dog and kind of having a head start. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Versus going through that grind and that development of a puppy. I mean, because you can probably get a very good quality adult dog to where like the temperament is so amazing to where it adjusts to any person, and that adjustment stage will only be the first couple of days after like however you got the dog, whether it be you picked it up yourself or if it got shipped to you or anything like that. You know what I mean? You can get a quality adult dog. So I mean, some people it's really about personal preference. Do you want a brand new car? Or do you want a used car?
Right.
Some people only get used cars. Some people only like to get new cars. You know what I mean? Some people have both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just really about, you know what I mean, your personal preference.
I can see that. But what if, okay, so let's just say, like you said, COVID happened and then you have that time to study and really figure out what all you need, what all will go into breeding. But what if, yeah, COVID happened and then you still made it happen with, either getting your puppies or already starting to breed with adult dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would COVID actually be a setback, or is it more of a mindset?
Um, it could be a setback, but I know some people who've had, you know what I mean, successful litters and puppies have gone to new homes throughout COVID. I mean, everybody took their precautions, of course. I mean, heck, my last litter that that I whelped was in the beginning of COVID. You know what I mean? So like, I took precautions. So yeah, you can still strive and be successful through a pandemic. But let's just say you're breeding top quality dogs and your dogs are set at uh $8,000 or whatever. But pandemic happened and your clientele that you had before the pandemic, $8,000 wasn't nothing to them. But now that the pandemic, now your clientele has went down and people can only afford to pay you 3,000, 4,000. You know what I mean, for your dog. You still the same dog, same quality, but like the shift in the economy has made it challenging for you to sell your dogs at the price that you know what I mean, that you've been selling your dogs for, or the price that you want for your dog. So I mean, that could be a setback, and that's what I mean, that'll be up to you to determine on if you want to take that hit, because the price doesn't always necessarily reflect on the dog itself. You know what I mean? Some people put in their prices all the work that they put into the dogs, the conditions that their dogs are raised in, the food that they feed their dogs. You know what I mean? How established this person is, how long they've been doing it. You know what I mean? How well known are the parents of the dogs? But mostly that work that breeder has put in. Like if you're a good quality top of the line breeder, you up on your stuff. You cleaning out your cages, and you're investing everything that you make off these dogs back into your dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You want that to reflect your price, or you want your price to reflect all the effort in it. You know what I mean? Blood, sweat, and tears that you didn't put into raising these dogs. So those high prices are not always necessarily just because this a real good dog. It also is oh man, that's a real good breeder. Like he or she is clean and you know what I mean. They own their stuff basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see that.
and
But I know you. Okay, I know as far as breeding, just making sure you know the type of dog you're gonna have, and what do you want to do with your dog, or what type of education you feel like breeders need to know before stepping into it.
first of all, you should educate yourself on what it takes to run a kennel. You know what I mean? Not
Mm-hmm.
just the breeding of the dogs, but like educate yourself on proper diet, proper hygiene, proper health care. For I don't want to say health care like insurance, but like making sure that your dogs are healthy. I mean, I guess that could be health care.
Like
Educate.
vaccines and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
right, and proper medicines or vitamins or stuff like that. Educate yourself on the breed that you're dealing with, the particular breeders that you're trying to deal with, the bloodline that you uh, that you like. Educate yourself on the breed standards. Educate yourself on is this a dog that you want to sell? You know what I mean? Is this a whatever? If this is a breed good for families, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so much education out there and so much things for you to know. I mean, I still learn every day. I mean, other breeders learn every day. It's so much stuff, and then with all this innovation and you know what I mean, things developing now, like 2020, like 8 in the 1980s or whatever. There's probably been so much innovation and changes from that from 1980s to now, but like it took education and trial and error for people to get to this point. So like you always want to improve yourself, and like how do you improve yourself? You study. You look up things. I mean, basically, simply you just educate yourself on how to be better. I mean, we have the internet now, so I mean, it's really no excuse. Like to if you got questions on anything, it's going to be on the internet, or you know what I mean. They still have magazines and books out there for you to read and study on. So I mean, I don't want to say it's unlimited education, but it's a lot out there, and
It's out there.
you don't necessarily have to study that one particular breed that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Breeders learn from other breeders that breed different type of dogs, like from the pit bull or the bully game, or the German Shepherd game, or you know what I mean, the small dog game. Like you know what I mean? You can learn from everything.
Right. I had a family member who was married to somebody that was breeding dogs, but I didn't even know that that's what was going on. They just had a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, you remember he used to breed pit bulls? Man, those dogs were. I was scared of those dogs. I had to, for sure, be in another room. I couldn't be in the same room with those dogs. But
Why were they vicious, or you just because of the stigma that fit those dogs?
you know what? It was probably the stigma
Mm,
because they were somewhat friendly, but they were aggressive.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know one of my family members, she has a pit bull now, and she's super sweet. You know, she just wants some love. But if I don't show her no love, she's gonna be aggressive with me. And I'm like, wait a minute, like you can't be aggressive with me like that. I'm not that's not gonna want to make me love you, like
Yeah.
love upon you, you know? So I'm just kind of learning how to maneuver with her because she can get aggressive. I started petting her for a little bit and I guess she really enjoyed it. And then if I didn't do it the next time I went over there, she would like try to run up on me. I'm like, back up. What's going on?
Said you in
But,
my house.
huh?
You said you in my house.
Right. I guess, apparently. But yeah, I mean, the education is out there. What else do you think? What are the next steps?
Uh,
Should I be a dog breeder?
I'm gonna say after education, I mean, finances is probably a if not the main thing, it's top three for sure, because you want to be able to afford the upkeep of this, and you know what I mean, not put yourself in a hole to where you might either, you know what I mean, lose your kennel or lose your house, you know what I mean, or lose your car just because you fell back from, you know what I mean, balancing and maintaining your finances, because it take a lot of money to raise these dogs and have them in, you know what I mean, top tier quality, and have them boarded and fed and just taken care of. I mean, day in and day out, you're gonna spend money. I mean, because you gotta, you know, feed them, you gotta give them, you know, shelter and water, things and that such, and then, you know, what I mean, the vet bills come into play. I mean, every day you spend money with these dogs. So like, if you trying to get into this because of a finance buying a situation, wrong wrong thing to do. You know what I mean? Because you're just putting yourself in a deeper hole. And this is, like I said, this is strictly my opinion. You know what I mean? Because this is not a get rich fast type business. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be a couple of years before I start back making my investment on what I done put in these dogs. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like, people that think that, you know what I mean, you can just get rich quick off of these dogs, it's not gonna happen, because you gotta put a lot into it. You know what I mean? Like what they say, you pay for what you get, or you get whatever you put into it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you half stepping, you're gonna get a half stepping results. You gotta go that extra mile. You know what I'm saying? So like, finances, that's a major, a big thing, because you want to be able to afford the upkeep and still be able to survive and live.
Would you be able to put a price tag on it to get them started?
Uh,
No.
I mean, because there's so many different tiers that you can. I mean, you can start on the cheap end and work your way up. You know what I mean? You probably gonna end up spending more, but like, uh, you could, you know what I mean? I can give you a price tag. What we talking about for like a when we say getting started, we got a time frame attached to it, or like, what you asking?
Like let's start fresh, right? You want to get you two new pups.
Mhm.
That way, those will be the ones that'll grow up and be the breeders. We could start there. We're taking care of them.
It depend
I
on,
mean,
huh?
that's owning two dogs right there,
It
and
depend
the
on,
proof it'll just keep building up.
where you getting these dogs from, and whatever the price tag might be on the actual dog. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna use Rottweilers, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna say you're getting a not an awesome dog, not a poor dog, but you're getting a good or great quality dog. I'm gonna say for per dog, you're probably gonna pay anywhere between 2,500 and 3,500 per dog.
Okay.
So that's what, five to $6,000
Mm-hmm.
for those two dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's just for the dogs. Now we're talking now you gotta feed these dogs, and if they puppies, they're gonna have to have a series of vaccinations once you get them. So let's go with the lower number. Since you have two dogs, so you're already minus 5,000. And let's say you get these puppies at 8 weeks old. Uh, I mean, you're gonna have to take them to the vet maybe up until 3 to 6 months. Uh, and I'm just pulling numbers out of my head. Per dog, vaccinations might be, or the whole visit might be $75 for each dog on what you need to do with the vaccinations or whatever. 75 times 2 is what? Come on now, we both college educated.
I know. Just don't run numbers to me. I'm not the go-to for that.
Yeah. You can pull out your calculator.
150. Damn, that's a shame. 150.
And this going on the World Wide Web.
Okay. America.
150 for the vet visit, and that's each time that you go. You're probably gonna go at least 4 times, maybe. So 150 times per hour. We ain't gonna keep playing with the numbers, but I'm gonna say for a year, for two new puppies, you could probably look to spend easily 15,000
for the year.
For the year, and that's just for 2 dogs, and that's including what you pay for the dogs, the vet visits, the food, the water, the grooming, toys. You know what I mean? Stuff that they might have tore up in your house. You know what I mean? So,
oh my God.
15,000 for 2 dogs, and you know what I mean, give or take.
Okay, that's starting off.
And if you know what I mean, if you starting off this and you working a minimum wage job, or you know what I mean, you got a mortgage, or you got kids and other bills and car notes and all that other type of stuff. And this go all the way back to the beginning, timing and planning. Now you're adding the finances to it on top of the education. That's a lot, man. That is a lot for some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really for all breeders, like all breeders taking hits at some point. You know what I mean? Like in the breeding process, you're gonna take hits. In the, you know what I mean, the building from the ground up, you're gonna take a lot of hits. So I mean, and it can get more expensive than that, because you know what I mean, depending on what type of breed you're dealing with too. Also, you know what I mean, you got dogs that's cheaper than that. You got some dogs that's way more expensive than that. You got some dogs that require way more attention and way more healthcare. You know what I mean? Like that 15,000, that's for like some, healthy dogs or whatever that didn't necessarily have to go to the vet every other week because it has some type of food allergies, and you try to figure out what's wrong with your dog, or if it has some skin issues. So you know what I mean? It can get up there, and that's for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? And that's strictly just for 2 dogs. If you got a whole lot of these dogs, you know what I mean? Multiply that 15,000, and then you start having puppies. That's more mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? So it can get pricey. And like, people think that you can do this and come up quick. I don't see it happen. Cause you're gonna have to give a lot more time to make back what you didn't put in on. You know what I'm saying? So like it's crazy.
A lot goes into it. Timing, preparation, education, finances.
Mm-hmm. You definitely gotta have discipline. You gotta
So
have
you keep
discipline
it.
because how I say I get up anywhere between 5 and 6 every morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a routine for me.
Yeah.
And I have to because the dogs are on that same routine. Because these dogs are very uh what is it? Creatures of habit? Is that
Mm-hmm.
the thing? Like
That's it.
they they like having structure and order. And if you deviate and throw it off, they get thrown off. So you have to be disciplined and your dogs will be disciplined. And you have some disciplined dogs. I mean, it kind of it make the process a little easier because it become a routine. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn
Mm-hmm.
how to ride a bike, you kind of never forget. So like if you get in like, all right, 5 o'clock, I'm up, 5:30. We got the first couple of dogs out cleaning up, you know what I mean, however many cages. I'm gonna feed these dogs at 6:30. I mean, if you have that planning, that timing, along with that discipline, it'll make it a little bit more smoother of a process, and it'll just become a part of your life. But you have to stick with it because if you get lazy and like I don't necessarily feel like cleaning these cages today. You know what I mean? You don't
Mm-hmm.
clean that cage out today, you be going to the vet tomorrow just because when you got multiple dogs that can, you know what I mean, give each other things. If somebody's sick, you know what I mean, you kept everybody catches bugs every now and then, you know what I'm saying? So like you didn't clean out that cage, you didn't catch that virus that's gonna go around your kennel. And like you took this dog this time, you got this dog healthy. By the time you didn't finish with getting this dog healthy, the 3 other dogs you have then caught the same virus just because that one day that you wanted to be lazy and not go pick up poop, power wash, or disinfect the sleeping area where the dogs are. And that's just one example, you know what I mean? Or like, you know what I mean, picking up something in the yard where the dogs, you know what I mean, lacerate themselves because they stepped on a nail or something like that. You know what I mean? Like stand on top of your game and having some structure and some order will save you in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if you discipline, it'll definitely have the process going a whole lot smoother. And you know what I mean, it'll be like nothing at to a certain point. Now unless you add on to your routine or like you switch up your routine, like then like you're gonna have to, you know what I mean, go back to the planning stage and figure out like, all right, I didn't added this and took this away, now I'm gonna do this, and you know what I mean, move some stuff around. But like having some structure and some order is gonna make it easy. And that's with life, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just having your stuff together. It'll make things a whole lot cleaner and a whole lot smoother.
Have you noticed a time where you slipped up and maybe you weren't on top of one thing and then you could peep it in how your dogs were reacting or in something that they ended up doing?
Yeah, I mean, it could just be something simple as not walking the whole entire yard and picking up all the trash in the yard. And they get a hold to like a bag and they glued
Mm-hmm.
it up. And instead of picking up that one big bag, now I got pieces of bag all over the yard. You know what I mean? So now I gotta take out more time to go pick up these little bitty pieces versus just going walk to the other side of the yard and pick up that you know what I mean, that plastic bag that's in the yard. You know what I mean? It's something simple like that, or not properly closing doors or cages, and
Mm.
now the dogs and got out. Now you chasing them down the neighborhood, something like that. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
It's
have
something
you
simple like that. You know what I mean? Being lazy and not up on your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like or like if you got a lot of puppies, they get into something that they're not supposed to, and they can harm themselves or like just create a whole lot of mess. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that
yeah,
all that was started off from you just not wanting to do something or like I'm gonna get to it, just not right now. I mean, go
yeah.
ahead and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? And me, like how I get down, I pick up as I go. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have Chanel and Bruno out at the same time, I'm a multitask with them too, so I can get the other dogs out the way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like doing a little here and a little there and coming back later. Like, nah, like it make the day longer. You know what I mean? And it take out more time when you don't stick to structure and order or a routine or a time or a discipline. You know what I'm saying? So like it actually hurts you more to not have your stuff together.
Whew, that goes for life, like you said. Making sure you have that structure and everything in order.
Yeah.
Then you go pick up the pieces.
Yeah. And I think another important thing is just have patience.
Mm.
Like I know that this can be a lucrative thing for people if they do it and really get into it and do it the right way. But you gotta be patient. It's not gonna happen overnight. You know what I mean? It's going to take time. You know what I'm saying? So like be patient with the process, but get good at the process in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Get established. You know what I mean? Like once you get established and once you get get to a certain status of plateau, you'll be good. You know what I mean? What to say? The good things come to those who wait.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna hurt you. Granted, like you want it to be, everybody want instant success, instant gratification, but in life, it just don't necessarily work like that. You know what I mean? Like if it's something that you're really passionate and something that you want to do, why not take your time and do it the right way? I mean, because if you're gonna try to skip steps and you know what I mean, skip the line, you're gonna have to backtrack. You know what I mean? Because you didn't made it here, but now you don't have this in order. You know what I mean? You don't know what to do once you get uh, a litter of puppies. Like, what's the next step? You didn't rush the process on learning if you didn't pair the right parents, and like you don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna have a bunch of spazzy dogs because you didn't bred two siblings, or like you know what I mean. Your puppy's gonna have some type of defects just because you was rushing the process, or you was trying to hurry up and just boom have a litter right then and there. You know what I mean? Versus if you would have been patient, you could have did your studying, educating, and knowing like maybe I should not pair these two dogs together because A, B, C, or D. You know what I mean? This dog's pedigree or bloodline has a history of a birth defect if it's paired with this type of dog. You know what I mean? So
Speak on that a little bit. Like, what's some of the things that we would notice in dogs if they're not bred with, I guess, like the proper,
uh
if I could say that like that.
the good pairing, it's
Mhm.
almost like if you want to, and it's just theoretically speaking, if you want to breed two humans together to make a a basketball player, right? You're not gonna breed two 4 foot people and expect to get a 7 foot or a 6 foot person that's gonna, you know what I mean, play in the NBA. It's just not gonna happen. You put two 4 foot people together and they have a child, you can expect that child to be what, 4 foot, right?
Mhm.
So if you're pairing dogs who qualities don't necessarily link up, you can probably find a diamond in the rough, excuse me, puppy, but for the most part, you're gonna have a look in a dog that's a little bit everywhere. Like, so people look for size and bone and head structure and all these different type of things in dogs, colors and all this other type of stuff. So like the improper pairing of these dogs, you'll have stuff going everywhere. Like these dogs might have big feet, small heads, overbite, my bites, uh, one big ear, one little ear. You know what I mean? And I'm being a little dramatic with it, but like
What have you seen? Have you seen some improper pairings personally?
Not personally. I've just seen some dogs that I don't necessarily care for the look or the like uh of what that dog came out to be. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, because you got some people that play Frankenstein with these dogs, man. Like they'll take, and some people like that stuff. They like to put the word exotic to it. I wouldn't call it exotic. I think it's just some ugly stuff. You know what I mean? Just because it's different, don't mean that it's cool. Like somebody, you got somebody told me they want to try to come out with the first uh blue Rottweiler. You know what I mean? And blue is like almost like a gray color, but it's so gray that it look blue. Like
Hmm.
that ain't gonna be no Rottweiler. You know what I mean? People ain't gonna. They're like, it's like trying to put a Ferrari engine in a Toyota. You know what I'm saying? It just
Mm.
don't work. But you got people out there doing that type of stuff, and it's compromising what these breeds are. And it's just a bunch of mutts out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got some people that like mutt stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I feel like that's what I used to hear majority of. You know what I mean? Like people wanted, oh, let me mix this breed with this breed, and this is what I want.
uh,
And you know me, I'm not at that point. I guess I should say I didn't know anything about it, so I was thinking that was the norm.
nah, you got
You
people
know?
people playing Frankenstein with these dogs.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, and you
Sounds like it.
see how ugly Frankenstein look, bolts and stuff coming out his neck and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that we kind of hitting on stuff from like surface level type things. I mean, we can always deep dive specifically on certain things, but you know what I mean, that'll probably have this episode 10 hours or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But like
Mhm.
I'm just trying to give them ideas and things to think about, you know what I mean? Because when it comes to education, uh it, you want to fact check, you know what I mean, and make sure you're getting the right guidance, you know what I mean? And relationships come into factor with that. Like align yourself with somebody who has experience and who's been doing this, and who you know what I mean, you can develop that relationship, and you know what I mean, y'all, if you can trust that person, you know what I'm saying? Like relationships to me is important. I mean, especially like if you stepping into something that you've never done before, of course you want to go talk to someone who, been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go talk to somebody that's on the same level as you. I mean, because it's like the blind leading the blind. You know what I
Right.
mean? But like you gotta have those relationships, and it's gonna be hard because you got some people out there that like they don't want to educate or inform or what I mean, quote unquote, give them their secrets or the sauce or whatever. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
finding the right people to align yourself with and talk to those people who are, what I mean, willing to talk to you. I mean, because you're gonna run into some butt heads, and you know what I mean, that's not gonna give you the time of the day. Because I done ran into some people, you know what I mean, that necessarily didn't respond to a message that I might have sent. You know what I mean? And I just was trying to, ask a question, and I saw what they had, and I kind of respected what I saw, but you know what I mean, I don't know these people, they don't know me, and I get it, but at the same time, like it's okay to reach back and you know what I mean, help lift up and comer up, you know what I mean, or give some game, you know what I'm saying? Like especially like if you want to see the breed at least, you know what I mean, progress and continue to be successful. Like you can't have it all, but like you know what I mean. I say for those people who you will run into as an up and comer, who people ain't gonna want to talk to you. Don't worry about it. Just keep it pushing. Talk to those who will talk to you. I mean, because everything can and will happen full circle. Like you might not get a response from a top breeder at that point, But then it might come to a time where like you are the top breeder, and that person that didn't give you the time of day, now they reaching out to you. Oh man, I like your dog, blah 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 blah, and then it'll be up to you at that point to either respond or you know what I mean. My, how the tables have turned. You know what I'm saying? But find you some people who you can, you know what I mean, develop a relationship and establish a relationship with, and you know what I mean, y'all can bounce things off of each other, or like, you know what I mean, uh you know what I mean, you might not have the space to have 8 dogs, but you got one bad female or one bad male, and you know what I mean, you didn't establish this relationship with this person, and you know, and y'all dogs line up and pair together, and y'all can do a breeding together. And then that you know what I mean, it's almost like you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and you know what I mean, you can help each other come up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta breed, nourish those relationships,
Yeah.
meet the right people.
I mean, because you know a little bit about establishing relationships, and I guess we can just say in the business world, like what is something that like you can, I guess, can say that kind of fits what we're talking about with just implementing any of these steps into just developing. Let's just say developing.
Well, really, everything that you're saying right now, like I said, it really just applies to life, and just, having those relationships of people that you can go to when you can maybe ask questions about something that you probably had no idea about, and then they have the answers and vice versa. And just for you to be able to bounce those ideas off of one another and then to be able to just grow overall, because that's really the name of the game, for both of you to be able to grow and do what you need to do and be able to put out what you want to put out, to be able to help as many people as you can. That's really my main thing. I'm really all about helping people anyways.
Right.
Wherever I can help, I'm there. So if there's something that, I know I can help you with and you come to me about it, yeah, I'm going to help you out. Like, who am I to say, or not even not say anything, you reaching out to me, if I can help you out, I will help you out. And I feel like, you know, I wish more people were like that too, and that they would be open to, really just helping everybody, not everybody, of course, but, just generally, um, pushing everybody forward in any way that you can. Not
Right.
overextending yourself, of course, but just doing what you can to be able to push forward humanity.
Right.
So that's just how I see it. Just if you can help somebody, why not help them out? Like if somebody's trying to, like you said, you're always, putting out the knowledge of helping other breeders and stuff like that. If somebody reaches out to you about something that you can, quickly shoot them a quick text and say, yeah, go ahead and try this, try this. Boom. That's your way of helping, you know? So, but you have to nurse those relationships. It has to be a give and take. It can't just be take, take, take,
Right.
or give, give, give.
Right.
So those are just one of the things you want to pay attention to. But just be yourself, give from your heart, and the rest will follow.
Yeah, and like the I don't want to say bad apples, but like the people who not gonna stick with it, they will weed themselves out eventually because they're gonna get burnt out. You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
gonna eventually like give up. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't don't if you really want to be a breeder and you really want to do this, and like you know what I mean, you done plan everything out and you ready, and you get into it, and it start becoming challenging and hard for you, don't give up. You know what I mean? Keep on pushing. I mean, because eventually you'll get so good to where like your bad days will, I mean, you know what I mean, would be somebody else's good day. You know what I'm saying? So like, stick with it. Like it's gonna get rough, it's gonna get tough, but like if you really want to do it and have a passion and a drive for it, like go through those bad times, those bad days. It'll make you appreciate it more, and it'll make you even want to, you know what I mean, strive and get better. You know what I'm saying, and be successful with it. The relationships will help with that because you'll be able to ask for help or like, you know what I mean. Uh, what am I trying to say? Not not counseling, but you'll be able to like get some of that frustration and stuff up off you to, you know what I mean, somebody who understands what you're going through. You know what I mean? Having that community, you know what I mean? And they might be able to put some type of encouragement in you and can keep you going, or like you might be able to like, you know what I mean, help somebody, you know what I mean, brush themselves off and
Mm-hmm.
keep it going. You know what I mean? Like you say, give or take, or you know what I mean, take or give. It's not just give, take all the time. Like y'all helping each other and y'all developing that community and a relationship and helping each other be successful and ultimately helping the breed progress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If that's, I mean, if listen, if this is what you ultimately want to do, stick through those hard times. It will only get better, and it will definitely get easier because you've already been through it. And then it's like if something else comes up like that, you would most likely just laugh because it's like, huh, I've been through that already. You
Right.
know. So just pay attention to what's going on. Be completely aware of what's going on, and then notice patterns. And so, like, if you see one thing, then say, okay, I know this is happening. I know what to expect the next time. And it'll only get better.
Right. Just
It,
take me losing that litter, for instance. Like
mhm.
somebody would have possibly just given up at that point. You know what I mean? Just because of that experience or like uh all the money that you lost.
Mhm.
Uh because your whole entire litter died. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that can either make or break you. You know what I mean? Are you gonna fold or are you gonna learn from it? Yeah,
Right.
and like I chose to just learn from it and get better. It was tough, and I mean, I ain't gonna say I contemplated on like quitting and stopping, but it just was like, man, it hurt my excuse me, my morale just because losing the life, and you know what I mean. I spoke on that before, but like, man, it just was that was tough and that was hard.
It
Excuse me.
hit.
That was probably the hardest thing that I've dealt with thus far with breeding puppies, you know what I mean? Or just having dogs, period, just losing life, you know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
people would have not have made it past that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So keep on going, man. If you are already breeding and you know what I mean, you're struggling and you're on the grind up and coming, man, keep on pushing, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
because eventually, like, it's it it's gonna pay itself off as long as you continue to get better. You know what I mean?
And
But
even with you sharing the story too, that's already helping the breed. Because it's you putting the knowledge out there of what other breeders should pay attention to and what they should make sure that they have, once they have their breed going too. So you sharing the story, that's already making a big difference.
right. But another thing that's kind of important too is space and location.
Mm.
I think space wise, that's an easy fix. Like if you only have one dog, a regular yard would be okay. You know what I mean? You can survive. But if you're trying to like get into multiple dogs, you need to have the right amount of space to, be able to house those dogs and for them to be able to have that space to move around. Like you can't keep your dogs locked up all day. You know what I mean? And you can manage a small space with multiple dogs, but you're gonna be doing a whole lot of walking. You know what I mean? And depending on how big your dogs are, you know what I mean? If you got some small dogs, you might get away. You have a little bit more leeway. But if you got big dogs require big space because they need that much more space to be able to move around. Or like, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be walking 4 dogs at a time, 8 dogs at a time, possibly, and that'll take, out more time in your day. But like, make sure you have the right amount of space in order to house, shelter those dogs, and the right amount of space for them to be able to get out the cage, get out the kennel, exercise, and move around. Like, location. It'd probably nearly be impossible to try to run a kennel in an apartment. But you probably got some folks that try. You know what I mean? More power to you. You probably won't get your deposit back. You know what I mean? Them dogs gonna mess up,
Okay.
let alone keep a permanent smell in that house.
Ooh.
Back to my situation with timing and planning and all that. My location, I thought my location was okay when I first started because when I, moved into my house, and I have a nice size yard or whatever, but like I was basically the only house around. But over the years, I got neighbors and stuff now. You know what I mean? This is still a growing and developing neighborhood. So like I have neighbors on both sides of me. I don't have a neighbor behind my house yet, but eventually it will. You know what I mean? So like I necessarily want to plan this kennel at my location now. That's why I have the property, which is still under construction and in progress now and developing. Uh, I invested in that in order to so I can have the space for my dogs and they can, have free roam range and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I necessarily would if I could tell myself back then when I started about where I'm at now, I'd tell myself just wait till you get the, get your spot ready. Because depending on who your neighbors are, man, they could become a pain in your ass or they could be cool. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I have a slight thorn in my side type neighbor, but everything seemed to kind of be all right now. But I think it's more so just like they see what type of dog it is, and they don't necessarily, they're not educated. They listen to the stories and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I get compliments on my dogs with the neighbors and everything over here, and they surprised that my dog's level of discipline and temperament is as good as it is. You know what I mean? But that goes into the education in it and knowing, what you're getting in your dogs. But you want to take that into consideration. Where are you? I mean, if you're going to do it at your house, are you in a newer neighborhood where you have a homeowners association? The type of dog that you have in your neighborhood, are they on the restricted dog list? Because you have some dogs that like, some people can't have at all in neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're in the inner city or suburb, urban, whatever type of setting, you want to know if where you're going to have your dogs is safe for them and safe for the people around them, or if you're going to have land and acreage or whatever that you're going to place these dogs on. So like that's important. That's something to think about, because if you in a neighborhood where they real strict on certain guidelines when it comes to dogs, you can face fines. You can, go back into that financing. You got to take that into consideration. Damaged property, or you know what I mean, chewed up fences. You know what I mean, your dog's chewing up fences, but the fence is on your neighbor's side. Now you got to deal with that. So it's just like having your stuff and your steps and your self in order. You know what I mean, and proper planning and all that. So you definitely want to take that into consideration. Space and location.
I didn't even think about that they would have certain dogs that they would restrict in the neighborhood.
Yeah, certain breeds, some people, you know, you have those real strict type neighborhoods that probably been established for a while, and like, you know, people vote on things and like, oh, you're not allowed to have pit bulls over here. Like you have some neighborhoods where like you have to let them know what kind of dog you have, or you have to have insurance on your dog, some type of liability insurance for your dog, just in case your dog bites somebody, things like that. And if you don't follow those type of guidelines with that, then you can't have your dog over there, or you'll get fined, or like they might have the right to confiscate your dog from you. So you definitely want to be abreast on that type of stuff, because if you paid $5,000 for a dog and you know what I mean, you just moved in your house, you didn't know nothing about that, you just wanted a dog to, you know, secure your house, but then
Right.
one of your nosy neighbors know, oh, you have a dog that's on the restriction list, so I'm going to call management on you. Stuff like that. Because you know them people out there, especially with these times that we live in right now, they looking for anything and everything on whomever. You know what I mean?
Right. Always something to complain about. Oh, that would be the worst.
I hate them type of people.
Dang, I didn't even think about that. That's something to think about. That's good.
You might be your next door neighbor might be a Karen.
Oh my gosh, you remember one time we were talking about you know, how I would feel if I were to hear the dogs downstairs.
Yeah.
That dog is growing up. I'm starting to hear him.
Yeah.
I'm starting to hear him like
a lot of barking.
And like I was hearing like little rumblings downstairs, but I figured, you know, they were just rowdy. Come to find out, it's a dog. And then sometimes they're putting a dog out on the balcony and it's jumping on the rails and you can hear it too. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, it's not too bad to where, I mean, I'm just not that type of person. I'm not going to go complain because I mean, it's a dog. You know what I mean? But it's just, oof. It was just funny. We talked about it and then boom, there it went.
I think it's not, I'm going to step away from the breeder aspect or kennel aspect of it, but I think it's just hard having any type of animals in a
apartment
complex or a townhome alone in itself. You know what I mean? Just because the space is not as much, and like you're sharing more space than you necessarily would, and not just with you and the dog, but like your neighbors as well. Like you might be in an apartment complex to where you can't necessarily go take your dog out for a walk so it can pee and poop. There's nothing but concrete around. You know what I mean? So like now you gotta deal with puppy pads and stuff all in your house, and you know, you gotta worry about that smell in your house just because you can't take your dog out anywhere. It's because there's nowhere for the dog to poop or pee. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what you got the type of people that let their dog poop and pee anywhere, like outside of concrete and things like that. But
right. That's one of the things, like I said, that I've seen, I've witnessed.
Yeah.
I just chalk it up to, you know, people being dog lovers. I see it and I shake my head and I'm like, all right, whatever.
And see, I would plan for that. I would put that in my plan, like, all right, I ain't gonna get no dog until I'm out this apartment.
And now you see where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
So
much for the segue into JoJo ready for the
dog. Right, you know, so yeah, I can't do I'm not putting up with that up in here.
Even
Not
the little dogs too, though. Like I just, like I said, I despise little dogs because they just bark at anything and everything. They'll bark at them sons.
not all of them.
Man, look,
I figure when every time you think about little dogs, you thinking about that Chihuahua.
man, I'm just the Chihuahua.
Those are the ones that stay barking.
Shih Tzu, Shar-Pei, whatever. Oh, Shar-Pei might be a little bit bigger, but think about them all little cute dogs that just they lacking confidence, so they just gotta bark all day. I'm going.
You think so? Shar-Peis?
Not Shar-Pei. Oh, I said Shar-Pei's a little bit bigger.
Them Chihuahuas.
Shih Tzu.
Those are for sure. Or the wieners. The wiener dogs.
I don't know. Do wiener dog? Well, yeah, wiener dogs do bark. Cause I remember the lady that stayed in this complex at the complex where my mama stayed at. She had a wiener dog, and that little that dog always was barking. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got beef with little dogs.
Oh no, I already know. Even when I'm coming up, into my complex, I look over. The dogs, we see each other, boom, immediately starts barking. A little dog. And I'm like, what's going on? Why are you barking at me?
You're bigger than it, so I gotta let you know. I'm
Huh?
not. You're bigger than it, so I have to let you know that I'm not scared of you. Hey, hey,
I know.
hey,
And it's
hey.
like they try to jump over the rails and stuff like that.
Well, as soon as it
And,
run up, you
put a
guess.
little, huh?
I say, as soon as it run up on you, guess what it's gonna do? Tuck his tail.
Oh, I already know. That's normally how it is.
Or
They
step
run
back.
up and then just start backing up.
Yep. Yep.
That's the little dogs for you.
Man, I just really hope people that are considering being breeders, listen to some of the stuff we talked about, do some self-reflecting, and just be honest with yourself and just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, don't step into it if you're not ready for it. It's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? If you even take your time and do all the steps before you even get your first dog, you might be way ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to worry about making the hiccups and the early mistakes that you might have made if you would have rushed into it. So you know what I mean? Like I said, all this is coming from my opinion and I guess somewhat of my suggestion on what you should do. But take it lightly or take it hardly, however you want. But you know what I mean? I hope I've said something that was informative to you as a listener, man. And you know what I mean? If you got any questions or want to shoot something to me or shoot something by me, you know what I mean, hit me up. You know what I mean? You can text me, call me, 281-299-8998, or just hit me up on any other Space City Rottweilers platforms, man. I definitely would like to hear from other people who are on the come up or who are already established, and let me know what your journey was or like the experiences that you have. If you felt like that I said something that was beneficial or if you felt like I ain't really hit on nothing, let me know, and I can expound on more, or see what the people say, and see what you come up with, or let me know, like I said, if this was helpful, because I feel like it was beneficial. You know what I mean? I really wanted to get this out and really talk to y'all about this, because I want to see more breeders out there, and I want to see some good quality and some good product out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was definitely beneficial. Like you dropped a lot of gems for sure. Like if not just for breeding, really just for life.
Right.
With planning, preparing, education for anything that you want to do. So drop him the email, Corey. What's the email for him?
The email is spacecityrottweilers18@gmail.com. That's Rottweilers, ROTTWEILERS. Yeah, I think that was good, man. I felt good about, you know what I mean, what I was saying, because it really was just, if not all of it, 98% of it came from, you know, my own personal experiences. So, you know, it's always good to get that out. I mean, because, you know, I learn best from, you know, my mistakes or like things that I picked up on my own journey. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
I appreciate you sharing, Corey, and I appreciate y'all listening and rocking with us.
for sure, man. And we promise y'all, we're gonna have some type of consistency with this podcast. Y'all just please continue to bear with us because, like I said, we still working on the compound, on the space station, whatever you want to call it. We'll figure out a nickname for it, but and then of course with all this COVID and Corona is keeping us at a distance and keeping us away from, you know what I mean, actual personal interacting, because, you know, once we get everything straight on the space, like, it's gonna be a whole different setup. Like, the ambiance is gonna be ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's gonna be actually the recording studio for the podcast, and you know what I mean, different stuff. So we got some good things and some good things in our future. You know what I mean? A lot of it's in my head, but like, I'm planning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, man. I'm taking time off from actually the breeding part of running a kennel and just learning more and trying to develop and just, you know, let my dogs chill and enjoy the rest of the year. And, you know what I mean, 2020 has been one of those type of years. So I'm just looking to starting off fresh in the new year. I mean, I don't necessarily control the heat cycles like that anyway, but I think even if one of my females do come in the heat, I'm gonna just chill out until the beginning of the year, man. And hopefully by then we'll be at the spot, and you know what I mean, I'll have that more space to be able to maneuver and do many more of the things that I want to do with Space City Rottweilers kennel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Y'all stay tuned.
We gonna get JoJo out there on camera, interacting with the dogs and being part of the training processes and stuff like that. You're gonna see a whole different side of JoJo.
I'm not wearing that suit for them to jump on me, though.
I wouldn't even put you in that suit.
I'm not doing that one.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll interact with the dogs.
Yeah, man. We're gonna find different things and really work on this brand, man. Like, eventually, like, you'll be able to go out and represent Space City, and you know what I mean, for the ladies or something like that, or, you know, doing your own little venture with it, man. And you know, the YouTube channel, like, we'll start having, you know what I mean, different type of videos, not just videos of the episodes of the podcast or videos of, like, you know what I mean, just of the dogs and things of that such, man. We got a lot coming in the near future, y'all. So y'all, please stay tuned. Please continue to listen, subscribe on all your podcasting platforms. Go follow the YouTube channel, Space City Rottweilers YouTube channel. Go like and subscribe that. Keep in touch with us. I mean, reach out to us. I mean, you might not necessarily just have any questions or anything. You just want to say what's up. We open to that as well. So y'all just holler at us, man. Holler at your boy, holler at your girl. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all for listening, and I promise y'all we gonna not have a big pause and a big break in between like that no more.
We're working on it, you guys. We're working on it.
But we appreciate y'all for having that patience.
Yes, for sure.
But man, we gonna sign out, man. Like I said, man, appreciate y'all It's your captain, Mr. CREY, signing out.
All right, y'all. It's Joanna. Take care. Stay blessed. Bye.
Did I hit it?
Mm-mm.
Whoops.